Hello everybody, this is Cephalon. I'm here again with a deck profile. This is going to be a August 2018 deck profile of Batteryman. Batteryman are probably my second favorite deck, and it's actually the second deck I started seriously making. So yeah, I like this deck quite a bit. It's an OTK deck, and I like it a lot. Now let's get started. First three cards, obvious, you run in all Batteryman builds, is 3 Batteryman 9-volt. He's a searcher of the deck. You know, once it's summoned, once per turn, you can activate its effect to search any Batteryman monster and then double its attack and defense. So its attack and defense become 2000, which is really cool. But unfortunately, it does destroy itself during the end phase. So you'll have to try to make like an Xyz or something to maximize its use. Also, you can summon it during your opponent's turn and it does not get destroyed during your turn, which is really nice. Yeah, you wanna run this card at 3 all the time. 3 anytime you play Batteryman. It's really good. Now, next card. You want to play the newest one, 3 Solar Batteryman. This card, its effect is it has 3 different effects. Only 2 matter, but first one is when it's summoned at all, you get to dump a Foolish Burial for any Thunder monster. So it's generic Thunder support, which is really cool. I've heard that the new Thunder Dragon deck can actually use this, which is kind of cool and kind of neat. But this card is actually pretty useful to get mainly like 9-volt into the graveyard to use like one of the many revival cards to bring it back into the search. You really want to send this first, but only send one because you can just re-summon it again. After that, just send like other stuff that you don't need. That's what you do. It's a very good card. I'm running it at 3. You can change it if you want. Now, next card. The main play starter is Batteryman Charger. Once it's summoned, normal summon specifically, you get to special summon any Batteryman card from the deck, except itself, obviously. And also, it gains a 300 attack boost for every Thunder type monster on the field. So like it starts with 2100 and it can get really big pretty quick because and an easy combo for this is to summon this, normal summon it, special summon 9-volt, and then search this guy called Fuel Cell, and then immediately special summon that for 7,000 damage roundabout. It's a really this deck can OTK fast. I like it a lot. So you want to run, as always, 3 Fuel Cell, the final piece of this card, the combo. It's really easy to summon. All you have to do is to control 2 Batteryman cards. That's it, or 2 Batteryman monsters, and then you just summon it for free, and you can summon multiple in a turn. And also, on top of that, you contribute 1 Batteryman monster to return a card from the field to the hand, so it clears up the field for OTKs and problem monsters. These are like the main monsters you always want to have this number of. I mean, you can maybe, if you want to have lower numbers of solar and stuff, you can, but you really want to have 3 of the 9-volt and 3 of Fuel Cell at the very least. You can try doing lower numbers of charger and solar, but honestly I wouldn't recommend it. And next, the boss monster of the deck, Batteryman Industrial Strength. I run 2 of this because solar allows him to be more easily to summon. His effect is, it can't be normal summon or set, and it has to be summoned by banishing 2 Batteryman monsters. which would have been too much for 2 copies in a deck, but since Solar is around, you get to easily fill your grave with Batteryman monsters, so you can easily summon this guy. That's why I run 2. So that's, yeah. And then on top of that, when it's on the field, you can banish 1 Thunder-type monster, any Thunder-type monster, to destroy 1 monster and 1 spell and trap. It has to be both, though, so you can't just pop a monster and then not destroy a trap. You have to destroy both. Other than that, it's a really good card. It can brick sometimes, so there's a risk in playing 2 copies of this card. So if you don't want to, you could just play 1. You always want to play 1 because it's really easy to summon and very searchable too with 9-volt. So I play 2, you can play 1. I'd recommend doing what you're more comfortable with. The final Batteryman card monster I play is actually 2 of the Microcell and then 1 Thunder Seahorse to search the Microcell. Microcell is a flip effect monster which reads, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Batteryman monster from your deck, except Fuel Cell, or Microcell. Sorry. Except Microcell. And then if it's destroyed by battle, the turn, like when it's been flipped up, you get to draw a card, which is really nice. This guy is really good if you just set it and then have your opponent run over it, because then you can get a 9-volt, search anything you want or need, and then on top of that, get a draw for free. It's a +1, which is crazy. Or you could do a Batteryman Solar to get 9-volt to the grave, and then if you have like a Revival Trap, which I have in this deck, you can revive it in the same turn and activate Solar's effect to summon a token, which I forgot. If you summon a Thunder type monster, you get to summon a token for free, a level 1 token. I forgot to tell you that, but yes, it summons a token when a Thunder type monster is summoned. Very nice, and that's why you run Scrub-Sribe in this deck. It summons level 1 tokens, and Scrub-Sribe is a very good Link monster, so there you go. Yeah, anyway, I run only 2 of this because it can be a brick if you draw it and if you don't need it. And plus, you could just, if you're going to set the Microcell, you're not going to special summon any more of the turn. So, you could just activate this, search 2, and then set it if you need it. If you don't, then it's okay. It's very cool, and I'm glad I thought of this, because it's like, why not run 3 when you could just run 2, and then run the one that searches them? Very nice. Honestly, you might be interested in playing something else, you can, but it's either really expensive, like Brilliant Fusion or something crazy, or I just don't know. This is probably the weakest aspect of this deck. This is a flip effect, but hey, it's a very, very potent flip effect monster if your opponent attacks into it. So, there you go. I actually run a few hand traps in the deck, nothing very expensive. I run 3 Honest for protection for my Batteryman, because a lot of the time you have a turn to wait. Like if you set Microcell, then you probably want this to keep your monster that you summoned from the deck safe. Or you can just run over really big stuff. So, you know, that's how it goes. I also run Effect Veiler just to have a little more defense just against some stuff. And you can, if you time this right, you can really just halt their turn. Like, let's say they summon a Summoner Monk and they try to activate effect. You activate this, and then they waste a spell card from their hand, and they don't get the summon. It's very potent. You just have to use it at the really correct moment in order for it to be a full value. With any hand trap, really. That's it with the monster lineup. I don't remember the monster count, but it's a pretty even monster to spell and trap ratio, so pretty nice. I think it's a little above 20 because of the hand traps, but anyway. First, for spells, you want to play at least 2 Photon Sanctuary. You could make the argument for 3, and I'd actually not argue with that. Photon Sanctuary is a spell that summons 2 Thunder type light monsters tokens, 2 Thunder light tokens, and they can be used for anything except for the summon of anything other than light. You can only summon light monsters the turn you activate it, but you can summon anything that's light. So there's a new Link monster coming out that's light. This is a 1 card, I think it's Hyperstar, or I don't know, but it's 1 card that you want to run it in this deck. I don't have it yet, and I was planning on getting it. I just don't want to delay this deck profile any longer, and it's just 1 card, so you might as well. But yes, this is a very good card, and it's not only for a Link 2 engine, it's a tribute engine too, because you just summon this, and then you can tribute it with Charger, and go from there, and it gets the Charger gets the extra boost because these tokens are Thunder monsters. So Charger gets an extra boost, which is not too amazing, but in an OTK strategy, any attack boost can help. Yes, this is a very good card, and I bet it's going to go up in price when Hyperstar is, more common and stuff. But yes, this card is very good. You could play it at 3 and I'd actually be okay with it. Next, you want to run Double Summon. I prefer Double Summon over Gem Knight, like Seraphonite and Gem Knight Fusion, or all that stuff, because first of all, you get so much advantage and all that you don't necessarily need all that, and plus Garnet. The Garnet is really hurtful, and plus Brilliant Fusion is very expensive, and I don't have any of them yet, so I'm not choosing that. But these aren't. I have a couple of them, and they work the exact same without the downside of having a Garnet in your hand. So, and also I run Solar, so you don't have a need for milling more light monsters as much. Anyway, this is a great play, like combo extender and all that good stuff. You want to play them. On to other things. It is 3 Batteryman Charger. It's a monster reborn for this deck. The only cost is a 5-point life cost, which is nothing. Very good card. It wasn't as useful before Solar came out. But once Solar came out, it came much more useful because you just summon Solar from the graveyard, mill 9-volt, and then activate that to summon 9-volt. You can make easy Link Revo and rank 4 and pass to your opponent to see what they do and all that lucky stuff, which is very cool, very nice. It's a very cool card, and I'm surprised this deck has like 4 different revival traps and spells and stuff. It's crazy. None of them are too useful except for this one and then the Thunder type version of Salvage, but I do not run that card in this deck because you don't really need it. Then for 1-ofs, you play Monster Reborn, another revival spell. Very good. Also, you want to play Instant Fusion for a little tribute engine too, and then you can suck up your opponent's monsters and such. Very nice. And also, you want to play Regeki or Dark Hole, whichever you can have. And then Short Circuit. Short Circuit is a field nuke if you control 3 or more Batteryman monsters. And it does cover spells and traps, so it's like your opponent's wiped away and you're probably going to win after that. If you don't, then I'm very upset with you because it's a blowout card and you're probably not going to lose. Anyway, continuing on. Next, you want to play Monarch Stormforth. Very good, another card to help get out Charger very easily and, get rid of a monster that you don't want to have to deal with anymore. Stormforth is nice. And also, the not going into the extra deck isn't as huge of a deal, because if you're activating this and are able to kill your opponent, then it doesn't matter. Honestly, going to the extra deck isn't as a huge deal, because, oh no, my 9-volt gets destroyed. Okay. I mean, if I kill you, who cares? And then finally, for the last spell card, you want to Upstart Goblin. Just for consistency and all that technical, competitive stuff. And all that. I only run 5 traps. It's just Call the Haunted, 3 of them, and then back to the front. Just reviving your 9-volt during your opponent's turn. It's very good. And, just revival is really nice. That's it for the main deck. It's a 40-card main deck. It's very sweet and concise, and, well, technically 39 because of Upstart Goblin, but who's counting? Now, on to the extra deck. You want to have a Scrub-Sribe. As I mentioned before, you Solar summons the token, and honestly, sometimes the token kind of gets in the way. If you want to summon like another fuel cell, or other than that, you can just summon this, and it's 300 attack, so summoning this and replacing the Thunder Solar token is not going to matter with attack power, because it has the same amount of attack as Charger's attack gain, if that makes sense. Because like Charger gains 300 attack and such, but this has 300 attack, so making it does not matter in your OTK, except giving you advantage because you have a free space for another monster. Okay, as I said before, you want the light guy. I don't have it yet. Hip Hoshinigan. I don't know, Hyperstar was a better name, but anyway, you definitely want this. It's a very, very nice, like, light link too, pretty much. And then the rest, you want to obviously have the Insta-Fusion target, restrict. You could also try having the other restrict guy that came out this year, but there's not that much room in the extra deck for him if you want to have all the good XYZ monsters. And then for the XYZ monsters, obviously you want to have the good ones like Tornado Dragon, obviously the best, that. This is what you make if you are first turn and able to make a rank 4. Just put this in defense mode and try to hope for a very good negate and see what happens. One of the better ones for this deck. This, same thing. This, if I get more extra monsters, good for this deck. You might want to put this in the side deck because you can win games due to the new time rules and such. So, and this deck is extra deck. You can just switch it out and it doesn't really matter too much because you don't need every single card all the time. It's useful when it is. And you can just put this in the extra deck, and when you want the extra win and such, you can just pop that into your deck and have fun. Next, filler. I don't know. I just have that for filler because, I want to have the Utopia package. You want that. I don't have Utopia, the Lightning, so, but you want it because if your opponent has like freaking Chaos Max or something dumb, yeah. Then for rank 5, if you need it, Palladius, don't think you need it so much. Photon Strike Bouncer, if you could barely not KO your opponent, and you have 2 fuel cells, and you could just barely not KO them, you could just make this and then just sit on it, because your opponent takes burn damage if they're trying to activate an effect, and you activate this to negate an effect. It's really good. And finally, of all I have is Constellar Polytomally. Its balances more crap to your hand. Honestly, I would also recommend like some good link monsters, like I don't know, Firewall, Borlo Dragon. I'd probably recommend Borlo Dragon more because, you know, yeah, I have only like 14 cards now. You can honestly, you have you have a lot of flexibility with this extra deck. Honestly, it would be like you need this. You need at least one of that. You can probably have more. This obviously, and then you want to have Utopia package and these three, and this, these, and that. So at least 4 or 5 different things. The extra deck is very flexible. You honestly don't necessarily need the extra deck, but if you need it and don't have one, it kind of hurts. So yeah, I have this. It can help if you really need it, and it can come in handy. And help you not die as soon. But yeah, this is my deck profile of Batteryman Solar, or just Batteryman in general. I like this deck a lot. It's very nice. Oh yeah, I actually, on my YouTube channel, I'm starting a Let's Play of the demo of Octopath Traveler. If any of you people are interested in, you know, something besides Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm trying to do this Let's Play stuff. I hope you can check that out or something, because I want to try doing both Yu-Gi-Oh! And video game content. But anyway, my name is Cephalon. I hope you enjoyed this deck profile, and I will see you in any other days, nights, whatever. See ya. Bye.